Give it just maybe 30 seconds to a minute just to let a couple other attendees log on. I know sometimes it's slow to get on the internet or slow to get in a different setting to be able to talk, but good morning to each of those who've just joined, or good afternoon, depending on where you're at. If you just joined, if you would, use the Q&A box. I'd love to know, how are you feeling today? I got some great answers so far. Fantastic. Okay, we're about to get started. We'll just give just a few more seconds. We're still right at 11 o'clock. I know often when you log into these things, it takes a few minutes to get all set. So if you do have a sheet of paper or two, I recommend maybe grabbing a sheet, maybe a pen. We're gonna try to keep this to under 30 minutes. That's the goal. And we'll have a few things at the end that I can share with you to help with the 7 questions that we're going to go through. Ready to get back to work. Love it, aren't we all? Aren't we all? This is hopefully these 7 questions can help generate some new thoughts before we get back to work. Things have certainly changed since we've all been there. Okay, well, good morning or good afternoon. It looks like we have a great group logged in and a few more that just came on. So hello to each of you. Well, there is a Q&A box. Some of you have used that just to kind of let me know how you're feeling and where we're at right now. So I think let's get things started, as the song says. So good morning or good afternoon again, depending on where you're at, where you're located. We've got people from a lot of different areas on with us today. My name is Mike Steward. I'm the founder of Vision Fox Business Advisors. Let me quickly introduce myself and explain why I'm qualified to help you restart your business and present this today. I'm a registered franchise consultant, which means I work with about 300 franchisors and help people all over the country get into business. This gives me a very unique perspective on how it relates to today's topic. Second, I'm also a certified business coach, where I help business owners grow their business using a system called Value Builder. Lastly, I'm also a licensed business broker, where I help businesses with an exit plan and help them sell their business. So all this kind of wraps into these 7 questions that we're going to get how we restarted. I recommend maybe grab a sheet of paper and a pen. During the 7 questions, I will take a quick pause, probably maybe 2 seconds tops, just to let you maybe write down a couple of your thoughts. At the end of this, there'll be an opportunity to send me a message if you'd like to get the 1 page of the workbook that will show you these 7 questions. So just know that you'll have access to that. My hopes is that you find today's presentation thought-provoking. And as we go through this, think in terms of, how does this apply to me? How does this apply to my business? We've got people in all different industries with us today, from nonprofit to large to small to startup businesses. So again, think of how this applies to you and your business as we all begin to try to rebuild and reopen. So some of you may know, I'm also very involved in the real estate industry. So during this presentation, I'm going to use a few analogies. I also love boating. So we'll use houses and boats as kind of a way to position these 7 questions. When your house gets damaged by a disaster, you need to rebuild. Often not by choice, but due to some unforeseen event. Would you rebuild it exactly as it was? It'd be kind of tough to rebuild this one probably. Or would you build something you've always dreamed of in its place? The COVID-19 crisis may still be plummeting your business, but there will come a time when the storm starts to ebb. That's when you have a unique opportunity without the forces of inertia pushing you in the direction you've always gone. You have a moment to decide where you want to be. It's an opportunity to rethink how you approach your company, to rebuild your business into what you've always dreamed it could be, before little decisions stacked on top of each other and it simply became too hard to undo. Miss this moment and the forces of business and life will take hold again. We all know that, pushing you in a direction you may not want to go. Now is a unique moment to reassess everything, right down to what you sell, who you service, and to whom. So if you think about it, right now is such a pivotal point of direction change. And it's something we haven't had this unique position, thank goodness, to really take a pause. Most businesses evolve over time in a patchwork of products serving a mismatch of customers. That's perfectly normal. But there may be only some products or services that truly add value to your company, because the number one immutable law of business valuation, and that is buyers only pay a premium for a business when it would take too long or cost too much to rebuild it on their own. That's what every buyer thinks. They're only willing to buy something that they can't start on their own or recreate on their own. So, what's your business worth? A lot of people don't think about that on a daily basis, but we look at the stock market, we look at other indicators in our life to see blood pressure, fitness levels, weight. What is your business worth? If you're like a lot of business owners, to answer that question, you take your pre-tax profit, apply a multiplier you've heard companies in your industry tend to sell for. Let's imagine a $5 million business generating $800,000 in profit pre-tax. Further, let's assume the owner's heard that businesses like his or hers sell for a 4 times multiplier pre-tax profit. That owner would assume its business is worth around $3 million. So it's pre-tax profit times a multiplier, a little bit over $3 million. However, the typical buyer may not look at your business in quite the same way. Remember, based on the law of business valuation, a buyer will only value the sales you make from products and services they would find difficult to compete with or reinvent. A savvy buyer looking to buy the same $5 million business will analyze your revenue by product or service line. Product A, B, C, and D. So a lot of businesses, whether you're a restaurant, a fitness studio, a nonprofit, you typically offer multiple lines, whether again could be your menu or it could be other things, but the ones that are just commodities that maybe have less value, a buyer will place a different value on the products and services you sell if you offer a commoditized product that could easily offer themselves. They may not even place any value on that revenue. In this extreme yet hypothetical example, the buyer sees value in one product line for which they are willing to pay 2 times revenue, but places no value in the revenue this company derives from selling commodities. This, of course, is an extreme example and used to demonstrate the immutable law of business valuation, which is that buyers only buy what they could not easily create themselves. So you can see now we're looking at a value of $800,000. Buyers only pay a premium for businesses when it would take too long or cost too much to build it on their own. Therefore, buyers tend to see value in things like distribution channels that would be hard to build, a brand customers are loyal to, a customer base that would take time to earn, strategic location, proprietary technology that would be difficult to imitate, employees who are hard to recruit, differentiated product or service, an organic search ranking that would take time to win. These are value items that buyers look for and that add to the value of your business, not only for a buyer, but for yourself and your income. Let's look at an example. Take Damon James, for example. His company, Dimple, had a mobile podiatry clinic set up for retirement homes all over Australia. Zenitous offers medical services like optometry through retirement homes. Dimple allowed Zenitous to immediately access a group of new retirement homes and offer a new service to their existing homes. Dimple was generating $11 million in revenue when they were acquired by Zenitous for $13.4 million. Zenitous got to add a differentiated new service to its existing retirement homes and a brand new network of retirement homes to distribute their legacy services through. Now is the time before you restart your business, as it was before, to prune products and services that suck resources, complicate your life, and may not add any value to your business at all. In fact, now is a once-in-a-generation opportunity. Once-in-a-generation opportunity to refocus your business on offering something buyers ultimately value. The first step is answering the 7 critical questions. It all starts with the problem your company is uniquely set up to solve. What problem is your business trying to solve? I challenge you to think about that for a few seconds. This is what your purpose was to begin with, why you opened up. What problem is your business trying to solve? Then, define the ideal customer for whom the problem is felt most acutely. Who is most affected by this problem? That's your second question. The problem you're trying to solve, who's most affected by it? Then, describing the simplest terms possible how your company solves this problem for the people who are experiencing it. What does your company do to solve this problem? This could be a product, a service you offer, how you offer it. This is the third question, is what does your company do to solve this problem? Then describing why you are unique and your company is set up to solve the problem. In other words, what gives you the unfair advantage? What gives you an enduring competitive edge? These are questions that you probably haven't thought of in a long time. Hopefully over the past few weeks of maybe being slowed down or however you occupied your time, these are the questions that as you restart and rebuild your business for a slightly new economy that we'll all be entering, these are the ways to help rebuild and really take time out to restart your business the way it was meant to be started. As you look out in the future, how will the world look when you solve the problem you're embarking on? What does the world look like when you solve the problem? What's your indicator? How do you know when you've solved it? In other words, what's your mission? What quantitative, objective yardsticks will you use to know when your mission's complete? For some people, it's a P&L statement. For some, it's a survey. Could be the compliments you get in your business. Certainly the bottom line would reflect that, but you've got to have measurable, quantitative, objective yardsticks to know when that mission's complete, if you've really solved the problem for those who need it to be solved. Finally, what is your business model? How will you generate money off of it? At the end of the day, you've got to solve a problem. You've got to find the people to solve the problem for. You've got to be able to measure the problem, but then how will you make money on it? To recap our list, we go through a couple of these and know that I can send this to you. And I really, really challenge you to take time to really find some headspace and work through each of these. What problems your business trying to solve? Then dive down to who is the most affected by this problem. What does your company do to solve this problem? What gives you the competitive advantage, your company? What does the world look like when you solve the problem? How will you know? And how will you know when you've solved the problem? And of course, at the very last, how will you make money? At Vision Fox Business Advisors, I'm a certified business coach using a system called Value Builder. We've gone through this process and answered the same questions using a tool called Vision Builder, which is the first step in goal setting and understanding why you're reopening and what the purpose is. The problem we see is that a lot of companies like yours are getting cheated when it comes time to sell. So we provide tools, content, and advice for building a more valuable company. Whether you want to sell your business next year, 10 years from now, or just know that you could sell one day, our system grounded on data of 55,000 users, 2 best-selling books, and 250 examples of companies that have been built to sell. Our vision is to level the playing field for business owners so that when you get paid a premium for your life's work, there's a reason behind it. There's buyers who want it. Our goal as a community of advisors is to empower 1 million businesses by 2030. I've got 3 ways to help you. The first is an offer that anybody on this call or sees this, or if you share it with anyone, it's free. These are some coaching tools that I have access to that I'd love to share with you to help you rebuild and rebrand and restart your business the way that it was intended to. I'll gladly share a workbook with these 7 questions, find some quiet time, write them out, access to the Value Builder score platform, which will give you a score on where your business is at based on 8 key business drivers. After that, you'll also get a 29-page report. It's typically a $500 report that, and a free ebook for reinventing yourself during a crisis. This is something I'd like to give each of you. I'd like to share it with you. Simply type free in the chat box if you're interested in having access to it. I truly think that this is a great way to get you back restarted or grow your company in maybe a way that you haven't looked at before. The second is just a unique mastermind I'm hosting called the Value Rebuilder Mastermind. Before you start rebuilding what you had, now's the time to really think deeply about what you want. You want to rebuild the company that was dependent on you, or would you prefer to build a self-managing business? Do you want to rebuild a company you had, or would you prefer to reinvent yourself and make your company immune to economic cycles? Obviously, we can't be immune to things like we've recently experienced, but we certainly can weather storms better maybe than what we have in the past. If you're committed to throwing out what hasn't been working and rebuilding your business into a valuable asset, I'd like to invite you to participate in an exclusive mastermind class of up to 8 of your peers from different industries. You'll meet with a group of peers once a week for 90 minutes via Zoom. That's where we all meet nowadays. In addition to live group meetings, you'll also get unlimited access to the Value Builder system, where you'll leverage a suite of weekly videos and value building tools. The Value Rebuilder Mastermind is ideal for owners of companies that generate between $1 million and $5 million in annual sales. It comes with a 100% money back guarantee. If you attend all 13 sessions and feel less than completely satisfied, I'll refund 100% of your money. No questions asked. The enrollment deadline is May 15th. Simply type in mastermind if this is something, if you'd like to be one of the 8 in the mastermind group. We can really attack the 8 key drivers of your business over a 13-week period. This is typically a 12-month course. With everything going on, I think it just makes sense to squeeze this into 13 weeks and be able to chisel away and reinvent and rebuild your business as we get started. Lastly, if you're looking for something more robust, I'd love to also help you one-on-one. Be your personal guide, your sounding board, accountability partners. You rebuild your business into something more valuable than the one you had before the pandemic. We'll work one-on-one together. You'll rebuild the most valuable business parts, ultimately making it a more valuable company for you and for generations to come. Given the attention it takes for one-on-one clients, I'm able to work with about 3 max. So I am offering this to companies that are typically in the $2 to $8 million annual revenue prior to the recent epidemic. Again, it's 100% money back. If you find during the first 90 days, if you feel it's not a good fit and you're not completely satisfied, we'll shut it down and refund 100% of it. Is this something you have interest in? If you would, just type one-on-one into the chat box, and that'll give me an indicator to reach back out to you. As we wrap up, just know that I'm going to send each of you, send me an email, put something in the chat box, let me know about the 7 questions. If you need help with the 7 questions, I'd love to hop on a call, a Zoom meeting, probably even sit 6 feet away from each other and work through it. I'd like to know if you want to know a little bit more about this process, you've got my email address, and we can certainly work through how I'm able to help you. I'd like to not only thank you for your time today, but also remind you that I'm here to help. I hope you gain a unique, slightly different perspective on rebuilding your business, and truly wish you the best as we approach 2020 a bit differently. This wraps up the webinar. I think we came in way under time, but again, I hope each of you are looking at the 7 questions and ready to get back to work and thinking about them. Send me an email. You've got my email address, mike@visionfox.com. Love to get some feedback. I'd love to know what's on your mind, how you're feeling, and also like to know where I fit in, how I can help you. Hope everybody has a great day. Let's get started.